What's up, guys? I hope everybody had an amazing Thanksgiving, guys. 3J's back here. Thank you guys for the likes, for the comments, for subscribing. We're at 185 followers, subscribers. Thank you guys so much. So, guys, we're here for a specific reason. The infamous error code 031002 on the Epson ET-8550. Oh my God, but what does it mean? What does it mean? There's so many different error codes. You have 031004. But my favorite one is the one I just got hit with, which is the 031002. So that is your FFC cables, your flat flexible cable. So in today's video, we're going to take out the bad FFC cable. I'm going to show you why I replaced it. I had taken it out. I had cleaned the printhead and everything was working fine until it wasn't. And then I got that error code. Come to find out, my FFC cables were burned, right? So I have to replace them. I'm not going to replace the entire printer. We're just going to replace the cables. I did get them from my friend BCH Technologies. They have a bunch of videos out here on YouTube. Honestly, I'm going to do a follow along with them, see if their video helped me do it. And I'm recording a video while I'm doing it as well. Let's see if it works, you guys. But I'm kind of feeling like this is going to be the repair to the video. And on top of that, I'm going to turn around, double back, and I'm going to do a brand new conversion for an Epson ET-8550. I bought another one on Black Friday special. Come on, you know how much I paid for this guy? $375. $375 on Black Friday. I had to do it. Is that I had to do it? No brainer. Anyhow, so we're going to do two videos today. One is going to be for the FFC cables, and then we're going to do a full DTF conversion, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Drop it in the comments if you have any questions. I am no professional. I fully call that out on all my videos. I am no professional. But I believe in trial and error. I get comfortable with the uncomfortable really fast. For those of you that have tuned into my videos, you guys know I say that all the time because it's the truth, right? I'm no genius when it comes to this, but I'll tell you what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to quit, right? And neither should you. So stay tuned, like and subscribe. Let's get at it. Have you checked out my shorts? I'm just saying. All right, so there's a few things that I like to do for precaution. First thing is first is I'm going to make sure that I have turned the printer on and right back off and disconnect the cord from the back to be able to have the print head move freely. And I'm going to lay two lined paper towels underneath the print head, not because I'm working with ink, but because I don't want to take any chances on anything falling from the print head and leaking and damaging the motherboard. For those of you that are new to DTF and you're watching videos trying to figure out if you want to do this, just know this: you cannot do anything on the left hand side. That's where the motherboard is. You have to make sure that you are protecting that at all costs possible. Okay, so I already moved the print head. My printer's off. As you can see, it moves freely. And I do have paper towel laying right under the print head so you can see. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do, this is not needed. I do it just so I feel more comfortable because, again, I might not be playing with ink, but this is my external waste tank, is I'm going to actually remove the maintenance box, disconnect the waste line. All right. So that you just open that, pull this out. Okay, and then I'm going to very carefully remove the waste line from the port. Okay, so now I have it separated and I feel safer now. So in order to remove the bad FCC cables, we have to do two more things. We need to remove both side panels from the printer, okay? Now, full disclosure, I already had my right side panel off, so I don't have to remove that one, but I do have to remove the one on the left. So let's get started and remove the one on the left. As always, you're going to be playing with a lot of moving pieces, and the last thing you want to do is lose a screw, so make sure that you have a magnetic screwdriver. So we're going to remove this part. Okay. Then once you remove this top flap, we're going to start working on removing the side panel. Okay. So on the left panel, there's 4 screws. Okay. So we have one under here, under the door. We have one up top here, that's 2. We have that guy right there, that's 3. And then we have the one on the bottom. Okay. So let me see if I can get a good angle as I show you as I remove them. I'm going to remove these 2, the one on the top and the one on the bottom first. My dogs are running around. You might hear a little woof, 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 woof. All right, now I'm gonna go to the one on the bottom. This one is underneath your door, the printer door. And make sure that you don't confuse your screws, set them off to the side. So I got this one and I got this one. Now we're going to do this back one right here. Okay. And then we have the bottom one down here. It's going to be at the base. So right underneath your like Ethernet cable, there's a screw. Okay. So I have my 4 screws removed, right? So in essence, I should just be able to pop off the side panel. Okay. So let's see. Oh, well, look at that. Ta-da! That was much easier than I thought. All right, so now we're going to change the view so we can get a little lower because I have to be able to show you where all the magic happens. So we are now inside the side panel, okay? So what I did was there's 2 little FFC cables here, right? And there's one back here. So you're going to pull this out. You're going to pull this out, and you're very ever so gently going to remove this. And this was right here. Okay? So you're going to pull it out and pull out these 2 little FCC cables. So next we're going to have to remove the front panel, okay? So down here, there's a screw. You're going to have to remove this screw from down here, okay? And you're going to have to remove all the screws from here. Here, 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 here. Like if you're going to take off the entire top part, remove this screw, remove this screw, okay? So once you have all of this off, you should be able to start to peel back, right? Some pressure, the front panel. So let's go ahead and let's remove this front panel. Make sure to remove these 2 screws and this panel. You guys, are you still with me? So we took off the top panel, the black panel. We took off the front panel, and we took off both sides to be able to access the FFC cables, which are these guys right here. So my FFC cables are burned, so we need to take them from here, okay, from here, and we need to rerun them all the way to the print head, which means when I'm done doing this, I'm going to have to remove all my dampers again, clean it all out again, rerun them, and reprime them after I'm done installing the FFC cables. So next, now here comes the fun part. We have to start to remove the dampers. I have to remove all my dampers, so I want to make sure I have all my tools ready. So I have my little dental pick ready. I have my magnetic screwdriver, my small little screwdriver. And what I did is I went ahead and I pre-made 6 little paper towels, because as I go removing damper for damper, I'm going to just put this in the slot where the damper was so it can start to absorb the ink that falls out of the damper. Each damper, as you remove it, is going to drop ink into that little port area. So I have paper towel underneath the print head. Do not do this unless you have paper underneath your print head, or you will flood your printer with ink, okay? So remember, always paper while you suck it up, while you do this little process. So let's go ahead and let's remove the first damper. So the dental pick is a really, really good tool to be able to use. And I'm not going to lie, my little small screwdriver is not magnetic, so I kind of like unscrew it with that one. Then I grab it with my magnetic one and I separate all my little screws. Don't lose these guys because these are not the same size as your other screws. So I remove my first screw, right? I have my little paper ready. I have a paper on, you can't tell here, but as you can see, I have a paper towel laid down here. I have all my little papers, and as I go pulling out the damper, I'm just going to run the damper right here so it could sit here so I don't drop any ink. Okay, so let's remove that first damper. So to remove the damper, you're just going to take your toothpick, your dental toothpick, and once you remove the screw, you're going to put this into the hole where you remove the screw out, and you're going to just kind of pull forward to you, like sliding it out, and you'll hear it click. Heard it? So I just unclicked it, and once I unclick it, all I'm going to do is I'm going to push it to the front, push it to the back, lift it up, and transport that damper. But now I get my little piece of paper, and I want to put it in there so it can start to absorb the ink that dropped from that damper. Okay, and I'm going to continue and repeat the same process, remove damper for damper, damper for damper, and then I'm going to clean the carriage of the print head, because underneath it probably has like flooded ink from the FFC cable. So we're going to remove it, clean it up, and we're going to remove the FFC cable, right? So let's do that. And then you can feel free to skip ahead of the video if you already know how to do this. I'm just going to do one more damper, and then I will move forward with the video, and we'll pick it up where all the dampers are removed. Just for time purposes, most of you that have been watching some of my videos probably already know how to remove dampers. So I don't want to keep you guys doing something that you already know how to do. But again, if you don't know, this is your first time, please feel free. Stay tuned. I mean, I can do it with you guys on the camera, but all right. So now I have my little paper towel absorbing my ink. Okay, you guys are going to get dirty, so make sure that you're not wearing anything special. Okay, remove. All right. Make sure you don't cross them. You don't want your ink to start to bleed into the others. And I mean, it's going to happen. But that's why it's super important to give it a really good cleanup job when you're done. We're about 3 dampers in. We got 3 dampers to go. I got my 2 little golden doodles in the back causing chaos. I don't know if you guys can hear them. Yeah, there they are. Dogs are great. Don't you think? I love my little doodles. I have 2 mini golden doodles. What do you guys have? You guys have dogs? Let me know in the chat. Let me know what kind of doggy you have. All right, I'm just packing it in now. Oh, down dampers, down. We got down dampers. All right, got black, got red, blue. Oh, just got 2 more. All right. Oh, God, I hate when these things are like this. Feel free to skip ahead, like I said. I unfortunately have a bad groove here, so I have to rig my screw. It's so much fun. Yeah. Remember something, you guys. If everything in life was easy, everybody'd be doing it. So that's what I think. Guys, make sure to like and subscribe down below. Guys, we just hit 184 subscribers. Hopefully with this video we can get to 200. Make sure to like and follow and subscribe to the page. Share the page with anybody who you know is on the DTF journey, you guys. We're on that journey together. We are doing this together, you guys. There is enough of the pie to go around, you know? If my videos have helped you in the past, let me know in the comments. It's always nice to know when what you're doing is paying off for somebody, so. All right, so we officially have all 6 dampers removed. All right, and yeah, as expected, we are having some leaking going on. So it's a good thing that we had that paper towel, okay? Let me show you something. You see the ink coming off from the bottom here? If we didn't have this paper towel here, that would have gone all the way into your print. Okay, so just so you know why I did it. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to start to, actually, I want to clean off my dampers a little bit. Sometimes they're going to get a little dirty. And it's not that they're dirty inside. I mean, and look, they can definitely get dirty on the inside, but I don't like to put my dampers back in yucky like that. So I will actually start to separate them once I wipe them out. See, like this is a white damper, but you see how it has like black and stuff. So I don't like that. I don't want to take a chance on the ink bleeding. So this takes a second just to wipe it off. Okay. And so we got the two whites right there. Oh my god, look at this. One of my gaskets fell. Okay. Pay attention when you are removing your dampers, because sometimes a gasket will actually come lifted with the damper. Well, and you don't want that, right? Like, pay attention, because if you're like not paying attention and you throw it away, that's it, man. You are SOL until you get another gasket. Because you don't have a gasket, you're not going to get the right pressure. It's not going to seal correctly. Thus, it won't work. Yeah, I know, it sucks, right? I know. All right. You're going to go through a lot of paper towel. I mean, you're working with ink here, so just be ready for it. All right, we are almost done with the wiping down of the dampers. As long as you don't see any like color contamination inside the damper itself, you should be good to go. Black is usually okay. This is the first one that's removed all the time, so. All right, we got black in the house, black in the house. All right, then we got blue. Blue's the last one. Trying not to get dirty here, like I have new pants on. Ain't nobody trying to get dirty, you know? All right, so be a good little lad and let me ensure that my area is clean before I proceed. Okay, so I went ahead and I removed the dampers. Now I'm going to remove all that excess paper and lay some new paper in there, just so that it'll be easier when I transport it. So you see. And make sure, like I said, that your gaskets are not coming up with your paper. Oof. Oh my god, I'm dirty. I'm going to take a little break for a second and go rinse my hands, because I am full of ink. I do not want that. I will be right back. Ah! So I took out all the dampers. See if you can see that. But I put new paper towels in there so that it can continue to soak up the bad ink. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove those white papers in a second. And there are 4 screws, okay? There's one here, one here, one here, and one here. With your magnetic screwdriver, you're going to remove those 4 screws, because we need to lift the print head and we need to unplug the FFC cables from underneath it, okay? So don't remove your paper towel. Leave your paper towel under there in case you have some residual ink that's going to fall, but that is the next step. So let's remove the paper towel and let's unscrew our print head. So I removed the print head. Okay, disconnected the FFC cables. So if your FFC cables look like that, right, and they get ink all over them, you're going to probably get that 031002. This can cause your cables to burn out. Also, I noticed, you see this? I had to tape this down because these FFC cables were not together. And this right here is not good. So you can't have any crinks or any, you know, it can't be like that. It has to lay flat. So this is just not a good setup, which burned out my FFC cable. So I had to replace them. So now that I removed the print head, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start to clean the print head. Okay. So I'm going to take off that little, you see these 4 screws right there? There's 2 screws there and there's 2 screws here. So 4 screws in total. You can take that out, remove that little silver plaque and just start to wipe it all off. Get rid of all that old ink and put that plate back on. Once you've cleaned it all up, put the plate back on, put your 4 screws back on, okay? But here, I'm sorry, I'm using one hand. I have my little needleless syringe with my DTF solution, and I'm gonna put just a drop in each port, and I'm just gonna let it sit there. But before I do that, I'm gonna lay some ink here on my paper towel, okay? And I'm just gonna let my print head sit over that, just like that. All right, and then I'm going to put a little drop, okay? And I'm gonna let it sit there. And I'm gonna let it clean, I'm gonna dry it off, okay? I'm gonna clean that gasket. I'm gonna come back and show you what it looks like when it's all clean, and we're gonna start with the FFC cables. Here's the print head after I cleaned it. I cleaned the bottom. Now comes the fun part. Now we need to remove the FFC cables from the carriage. I went ahead and I labeled the cords, the cables. So I took a Sharpie. I put LT left top on one side. Then I put left bottom. Then on this one I put right top. And I put right bottom, because you're going to have to remember which direction it is, okay? So there's 3 FFC cables here. We're going to remove the first 2, okay? So here, I'm trying to do this with one hand. It's not going to work with one hand. This cord has to come out through here. So let me do it and then I'll tell you how I did it. Okay, so now we're cooking with grease. Let me show you what I did, how I got to where I am, okay? So this is your FFC cable. I have not disconnected it from the actual connecting ports yet. All I did was I removed it from the rail and disconnected it from the print head. So because we are removing it, I was able to bend this. This is what actually went attached to the print head. But now obviously I can't use these anymore because they're bent, right? But unfortunately, it's the only way to remove them. Now, reinstalling them is different because, and I'll show you, with the new FFC cables, this is what the print head area looks like, okay? So this is the part that goes like this inside the print head, and these 2 parts go attached to the print head. And this sits in there like that, okay? So instead of installing it the way we uninstalled it, we're gonna run this through here. And when we run it through here, we're gonna run it through, this is the guide. So we need to make sure that we get it through the guide. Now, when I took out the FFC cables, if you notice, there are 2, right? There's a 3rd cable, which is this cable, that you will not remove, okay? So you need to leave this into the guide. See it here? So you're not removing this. Now you might feel a little bit of tension when you're pulling on this because it has double-sided tape. So like this for me had double-sided tape right here, okay? So it was a little harder for me to pull out, but I was able to pull it out, okay? So now, again, I did not disconnect this from the port because I kind of want to know exactly when I get back here where is it that I'm hooking up those FFC cables to. So the idea is once we run the FFC cables through here, we're going to run it through the guide, all through the guide, up and down the grooves, okay? And as you see right here, this is why we took off the front panel, so we know where to hide the FFC cable. Okay, so let me get started and I'll show you. I went ahead and I labeled the ends of the new FFC cables 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to label that one 5 only, so that when I run the cord and I get to this part where I have to actually disconnect it from the motherboard, I know where to put the cords. What I care about is running these cords. So wish me luck, you guys. I want to try to be as careful as I possibly can. First step done. Okay, now we need to run all of these. So all I did was I lifted it up so that I can get them all together now. And we are going to, there we go. So now we got to run this through the actual plastic part, right? Okay, so that was a little tricky, but we were able to do it, okay? So you have to take your time. Trust me, man, be patient, okay? So I was getting stuck right here. So every time I got here, this wasn't flat, it was inverted. I tried and tried and tried and tried, but then I took a deep breath, had a little bit of coffee, and figured it out. I was putting it in incorrectly. So when you feed the cord in, you want to have the small cord to the back, okay? So see if you can see that right there. So you're going to loop it right in, out, and you're going to follow the groove, okay? And then here, I don't know if you can see that, but these are grooves, right? So once you start to go in and out with your cords that you ran through, and run through here, it's going to slide in here, it's going to clip here, it's going to clip all the way here, okay? And it's going to run, I'm going to put that little white piece of tape that was here, I put it back, and we are here now, okay? So, sorry. So we're here now, okay? So these are my new FFC cables. These are the old FFC cables. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow these 4 cables, okay? Because I have to replace those 4 with these 4 in that same order. Woohoo! I'm feeling, look, I was able to do it. So I ran the bundle with the cords through here, right? I labeled them 1 through 4, remember? So this is the first port, the second port, the third port, and the fourth port. You got to make sure that when you're clicking each cable into its port that you hear a little click. If you don't hear a little click, that is not all the way in and it's not going to make contact, okay? So I have my 4 in now. Now I just have to put the front cover back and reinstall. Remember what we took off? What was plugged in here and what was plugged in here? Let's go ahead and let's put that back and reinstall our dampers. But you guys, guess what? We just changed our FFC cables on our Epson ET-8550. Hopefully everything we did works out really, really well. Thank you guys, and keep watching. We're not done yet, but the bulk of the difficult part is. All right, we're getting there. I went ahead and I put the print head back in. I connected the new FFC cables to the bottom of the print head, put the 4 screws back in. All right, so now I'm at putting the dampers back, putting the side panels back. So still some work to do. I went ahead and I put the black cover back on. Okay, put the top back on, put my screws back in here, 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 and here. Okay, now we're going to put back the front cover, okay, and then the side panel. Okay, we have put back the front panel, the top panel, the ink cover. Now we have to reconnect those cords that we disconnected earlier in the video, which is this cord, and this cord. Be very gentle when you're reinstalling your FCC cables here. Again, don't put so much pressure, but you want to feel the click. And then this guy is going to go in here, right in there. Sorry, that guy's going to go right in there. All right, guys, so the last step is to put on the side panels, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm going to throw the dampers back in. I'm going to reprime it. Once I turn it on and I know everything is working good, then I'll slap my side panels back on and I'll be done. So hang tight. How are we looking, you guys? So I am at the point where I reinstalled my dampers. Now I have to reattach my lines. All right. So I move my print head over. We have to attach these guys here, back here, like that. Okay, like we've done in our other videos. And then we're going to reconnect the lines directly to the port. Okay, so let's do that and we'll be right back. Don't mind my screwdriver here. It's just holding up my scanner top because it was driving me friggin' insane. All right, so all we're going to do is we're going to put these back. See if I can do this over the head without interrupting my little door holder. All right, let me run my paper towel over. Always, whenever you're on the left-hand side, always run your paper towel over. Okay, you don't want anything falling on the left. I'm going to say that and say that and say that until I'm blue in the face. All right, so let's put this guy back. All right. You want to make sure that you're tucking in your lines underneath, because if you do not, this will not sit evenly and your print head will have an issue. Okay, so now let's run our cords back, our little ink nozzles. So white to white. Always make sure that you don't ever confuse these. You can mark them if you want. My eyes can see that this is blue, so magenta. Feel free to skip ahead, you guys. Just try to cover as much as I possibly can. I know that doing stuff like this is very intimidating. I am very aware, very aware. Let's put our little screws back. We're getting there. Yeah, guys, make sure to check out our shorts. We do, I say we because everything for me is family, but I'm a content creator also. I do all different kinds of skits. Check out my shorts. Also, aka known as La Gringa de Miami. That's right, Miami Bounds, yes. All right, so this little plastic thing, check this out. So if you start it from the top here, okay, and then right here, you bend it, it'll tuck right in. Now you want to make sure, this is very important, this is laying flat. You don't see any edges coming out, because then what's going to happen is your print head won't run smooth like this. All right, so now we can click that back. Take out our paper towel because we didn't want to have any ink smearing here. All right, so if you're new to DTF, I'm going to tell you that power clean on your printer is probably going to be your last case scenario on certain things. I mean, it's good to do it every once in a while, but it takes up half of your ink supply, right? So we need to reprime these dampers, but I'm going to do it from right here. Okay, we're going to prime the dampers directly from the waistline, because yes, doing a power clean will prime your dampers, okay? But you're going to notice that in your ink tank, you're going to lose about half of each color, okay? And it's very expensive. So my recommendation is when you're done doing what we just did, fill up all your ink tanks so that they're all even, okay? And then you're going to want to pull with a syringe directly from the waste tank. And keep an eye on this, okay? Because you're going to start to see the ink run through each one of the dampers, okay? Few things. The print head must be over the capping station, just like that, okay? The print head has got to be all the way clicked into the capping station. Your printer has got to be powered on. When you power on your printer, then we will take this guy and we're going to pull waste directly from the waste nozzle. And again, by doing that, you're going to be able to prime the dampers without losing all the ink that you would in a power cleaner. So let's do that and we'll be right back. So what'd you guys think about that? Not too bad, right? Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment. If you have any questions, let me know. If I can answer and I have the knowledge, I will provide it for you. But if I don't, I will try to shoot you to the right person that does have the right information. Till next time, thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.